Oh, you mother. There we go. Right. Put it back and fuck, Tom, get ready.
Come on, you're ready, man. You can do this.
I can do it. I can do
I'm
it.
recording already, by the way. I'm gonna have to edit that bit out.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And people, I don't. There's nothing I'm not scared to show them. I'm always honest.
Let's go.
Right.
Let's roll. Me too.
5, 4.
Go on, look. I put a like up there for you.
Good man. Right. We're going live now. Sharing.
Bear with us, people. We're nearly ready to roll.
Just setting up, ladies and gentlemen.
Setting up. Bear with us. Thank you for tuning in. If you're tuning in, love, blessings, and respect. Big up Zero News. On job, as always.
All the people aren't tuning in. Scumbags, where are you? Get on there now.
Anyone? Is there anyone there? You're gonna have to tell me the comments or something. I'm gonna have a look. Wait.
So this is.
Shall I say who I am?
Hang on.
I can see now. Yeah. You ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, you know who this is. This is
Black Van Man. Blessings, love, and respect to everybody out there tuned in. I really appreciate it. It's about talking, it's about moving things forward, and that's what I'm here to do, hopefully.
Okay, so guys, my name's Storm Fury, this is Zero News, and you know who this is. I obviously did an interview with Black Band briefly when we were at the DFLA demo, and I didn't set the cameras up properly, and so it didn't come out as good as it could have done, and so I wanted to kind of correct that. But more than that, I've been asked about this interview, and one of the things that was asked is, "What's this big spell that's come over you? Why are you so enamored with Black Band Man?" There was a tone to that question that I didn't like very much. So let me answer. The answer is something you guys have known since I created this show is I am in love with one word: honesty. When I see this guy, that's exactly what I believe that I'm getting. That's what the spell is. It's that simple. Honesty. And there's so little bit around, but that is exactly why I wanted to be sitting here talking to this man now. And also because he's doing something really cool, and I want to know more about it, and I believe you do too. So I don't think we need to sit and get into all the big details. We'll jump into speaking to this man here, Black Van Man. So welcome to the show, my friend. And like I say, sorry we didn't do so well last time, but this time we're going to do a bit better. But we've obviously had a brief chat offline just before we came on, but we're not going to edit this. We're not going to do anything like that with this today. We start off with some really simple stuff because just stuff maybe people want to know. It seems like you kind of popped up. I had a look through I've had a little bit of a look at everything that I could find about you, and it seems like you suddenly got into this about 2 months ago. Is that fair?
Fair to say. I've been interested in what's going on in the country all my life. Like we will watch it as silent observers, I suppose. But I got involved in it maybe about 2 months ago. Yeah.
And you see this explosion in your activity.
Yeah.
from that kind of time. So obviously, not everyone just goes and picks up a camera.
Mm.
So there must have been a defining moment or a bunch of moments, that straw that broke the camel's back, whatever you want to call it. What made you grab the camera and go out and go to a place that you've been told is enemy territory for you? What made you do it?
Possibly discussions with friends and family, um, YouTube, curiosity. Um, I saw a lot of people following Tommy Robinson, and Tommy Robinson on the mainstream media is racist and far right. So if a lot of people are following Tommy Robinson, then me as a black man, yeah, I'd like to just call myself a man, to be honest with
That
you.
would be easier.
Yeah, it would be nice and easier. But me as a black man, should be concerned, or as a minority. As a minority, I should be concerned. Yeah, that's the PC way they say it nowadays,
I
isn't it?
love these words. It's unbelievable.
Political crap.
I've got. I have to say now, people of color. I have to say now, don't I? As a white man,
It
people of
went from color. If you say colored nowadays, they're entitled to just go and shout at you. It was a normal thing 20 years ago, but if an old granny or something says colored to you nowadays, then you're entitled to get a race card out your back pocket and go nuts.
I go actually. I saw a thing. I saw one of your tweets, and it said, you'll be able to correct me. I'm sure it said something. You said something like,
Mhm.
my ancestor is this, but if I was Anglo-Saxon, I would be absolutely. Was it outraged right now? Was it something like that?
Um, I think I might have even put dot dot dot. Yeah, but if my ancestors were Anglo-Saxon, I'd feel threatened.
Right. Could you
In the
expand?
least.
Can you expand on that a bit more?
Um, Anglo-Saxon way of life.
So you'd feel so if so you're saying if you identify with being an Anglo-Saxon, you would understand why they would feel threatened that they're for their
That their
culture,
way of life is being assaulted.
right? And you're seeing this from the outside. So
I'm seeing it from the outside, so I can only imagine how they must feel it if nobody's listening.
and because I saw and that was another tweet I saw. You said nobody's listening, but I'm on it.
I'm listening. Everybody seems to be like going through life. I watch people and watch how a tide can build up, and the wave builds up, and then it comes crashing down, and then the wave goes the other way. Um, and I feel like there's tension building up in the country.
Yes, I feel that too.
Yeah, I feel
I
there's
mean,
tension building up in the country, and people on the playing this left and right game. People on
yeah,
the left are ignoring the tensions and ploughing ahead with their agenda without thinking about the people that are indigenous to this country. It's not even maths or scientists. I'm not doing anything great. The only thing that I'm doing is putting my neck on the line because I'm saying something that I believe to be true. It's
something.
not. You don't have to be a mathematician, a genius, or anything to think. Do you know what I mean? It's just critical
Yeah,
thinking.
critical thinking. So something you said to me offline was I don't know about this. I don't know. Was it? I don't. I'm not an expert on
I'm a
history. I'm not.
layman.
Yeah,
I'm a
I'm a name.
layman, and I'm not trying to be. I'm not trying to be a master or learn about the. I'll turn crazy if I try to learn be a master of everything. The normal person in this country is not learned in Islam, is not learned in foreign policy, He's not learned in Brexit.
Yeah,
He's not. We've got a layman's understanding of everything.
I would
So
say that's true.
yeah. So that's what I'm trying to get a general gist of everyone's um opinion. If you've got something to say and you feel like nobody's listening to you, that's what I'm here for. And I'm starting with the English people because
Amazing.
boy, this is the host nation.
That is amazing. So that is actually a huge statement. So just as I take that in, so you've been to Tommy's events now,
Yeah,
and the question is, if we move past race for a second,
yeah.
what do you believe that from your experiences, what do they stand for? What are they fighting for?
Um,
From what you've
I
seen.
was really close. This is what I was really close, yeah, to give him my opinion, and
Hmm.
I was like, my heart tells me to give my opinion, yeah. But when I give my opinion, I believe that people on the other side are gonna be able to just say you're a Tommy supporter or you're this or you're that.
Well, two
The
things I
reason
would say. Two
what
things
I
I
like, shall I tell you what I like?
yeah,
I
go on.
like I like the fact that the camera does the talking.
Yes, it does. Yeah, you're
The
absolutely
camera
right.
does the talking. You don't need me talking on the side of it to or my opinion to cloud what I'm filming.
If
So
I, if I was honest with you,
common
I'd say
sense.
that
I go
I
with common sense and logic. That's what I go with. I'm not hiding on the fence or anything. I go with common sense and logic,
yeah,
truth, and what's right. That's what I stand up for.
fair play. And it sounds like sorry, go back. What was the you just said something just before that.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm like that too. It does my head in. I'm doing it all the time. It's terrible. Um, but okay, so yeah, so we're talking about the other side. So don't you think by even saying if I give an opinion, it's going to
Yeah.
upset the other side? Don't you think that's already kind of leaked a certain something?
Um,
Do you get what I'm saying? And
like quite
I think
basically, the way
okay,
how I look at it is, I went to a Tommy Robinson demonstration with no preconceived ideas. Um, Tommy Robinson supporters put their best foot forward, put their case forward. I went to the other side with no preconceived ideas. They didn't put their best foot forward. I will continue to go back to the Tommy Robinson supporters and Brexit supporters and all of the following Antifa, hope not hate, whoever they are, and try to get someone to speak to, so I know what you're demonstrating about. That's what I'm going
and
to
so
continue to do.
with the unbiased thing, is it unbiased or is it just objective? Because surely every experience causes a kind of bias, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I don't know. I never even thought just too deeply into it
Right.
when I created the idea. I
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
black van. I was
So,
black van man, and I was gonna come to a thingy. I was gonna come to a demonstration
mhm.
and be unbiased. That's
So
what I tried to do.
ask you a better question that's fairer for all sides.
Yeah.
What do you think Antifa was fighting for, and what do you believe Tommy supporters are fighting for, from what you've seen from both sides? Bear in mind, they don't represent everybody that on the right or left, do they?
Yeah. No, no, no. Of course not. I'll start with the Tommy supporters. The Tommy supporters want Tommy Robinson free. The
Hmm.
Tommy Robinson supporters want Tommy Robinson to be heard.
Hmm.
Um, Tommy Robinson supporters are dying to be heard. Literally. I've seen all ages, all not all races, predominantly white.
True.
Maybe because you haven't had the chance to maybe get your message out to a wider demographic.
Hmm.
Maybe why I half love Black Van Man so much. It's a sad world. It's a sad world when it comes to that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
reality is what reality is. But
It was. I think from our point of view, from
mm,
being in that demonstration, it's like, oh, finally, someone black's not
yeah,
afraid to
yeah,
come
yeah,
and speak
yeah.
about
He's
us.
come to have a look.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah. And
Yeah.
from Antifa, what do you think they were fighting for?
When I looked at the demographics of the age, there's about three people that were maybe about 40-year-olds and older. The majority of them seem to be students, um, and not from working class, not from working class, lower class, working class. That's where I'm from. Lower class, I can say lower class without anybody being
Offended.
offended. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm
Sure.
from
Sure.
that lower class, so I didn't identify them as being from that demographic. So when they say anti-fascist, I'm confused what fascist is, because I'm not really a learned kind of person. I thought a fascist was like a Nazi, innit?
It is. It's got
Okay,
not,
so yep, to a layman, that's what I thought fascist was a Nazi. So
or not, or Nazi. To be
anti-fascist,
to be to be more correct, Nazis were fascists.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I'm a layman. Um, Anti-racist, anti-fascist, anti-white supremacist. That's what they stand for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm from the black community, if in case you never noticed. Yeah. Um, um, I've lived in the black community all my life. Um, so I should have a little understanding of whether I've never heard of Antifa in my life, as in doing anything positive for the community,
Right.
in any way, shape, or form. I want to speak to someone in Antifa who can show me otherwise. I'm not gonna say be ignorant and
Have
say
you?
they've never done anything, but I've never seen anything with my eyes, or like I believe I know a lot of steps what could be done to help in the black community or in the urban community. It's not the black community, it's the urban community.
Yeah.
Um, that's mainstream media brainwashing me to say that, because on my estate there was black, white, we were
Yeah.
just all put together. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean? So in the urban communities, I forgot what I was saying. I was onto a good one there.
Yeah. You just did a me. You just did a me. It's
Yeah.
totally okay. I do it all the time. I do it all the time. But you were talking about the black community and how um, a special insight into it, kind of thing.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I've never heard of
and
Antifa
then
white, basically. So like I want to know if they're just using the racist um name to put it, where anti-fascist, anti-racist, to add strength to their cause, when it's not done. You're not doing anything for racism, really and truly, because I haven't seen it. I would have heard of you,
yeah, yeah.
literally.
Do you feel there's anybody legitimately standing up against any racism?
um I've spoken to a few people. There was a guy who done something on Sankofa. It was about transatlantic slavery or something. But he done spoken word. It was like poetry, literally. But his spoken word really inspired me. In like I like to see things through other people's eyes other than myself, because people would like to say that I'm quite not robotic, but like I look at things very, and I don't try to put my emotions in it. I don't try to put my emotions in it. Or if I put my emotions in it, it's easy for me to say the system. Fuck you. Oops, sorry. The
No, no, you
system.
say anything.
The system held me down. The system messed me up. The system's to blame. They didn't teach me properly. They didn't want to help me. It's a victim mentality. I actually
Yeah,
despise it. Literally.
I
You know
hear
what
you.
I mean?
I hear
So
you totally. And there is a lot that goes on, and
yeah.
whether it's race that's used or government that's used or whatever, it's a ticket. It's a ticket to an excuse, isn't it?
I see politicians use it. The way I see people use it on a day-to-day basis, on maybe like Facebook or something, or oh, we're very quick to draw the race card and say this is this way because of this, and it could be a perfectly rational explanation, but you drew the race card out your back pocket super fast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I've got a
yeah.
problem with it. You're making
Too
it
quickly,
worse. You
too
make it
quickly.
worse. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's not going to be worth anything if you keep on pulling it out your pocket every 2 seconds. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I saw something on Boots. I don't want to say, I don't know the woman's name or anything. I don't want to make it like, but it was already viral anyway. But she was going, oh, I'm disgusted with Boots. They've put alarms on all of the black um, hair care products. They've put alarms on them all. This is disgraceful. Like, I've had enough. Ah! And then Boots came back with a reply like, we're really sorry that you're offended, but we put alarms on the ones that have stole the most. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just put your foot right in it. You just made yourself look like a right tit. And I feel like you made me look like a tit as well, because I feel like people are gonna try and judge me based on that that clip of you going around viral acting like an arsehole.
Because people will deny it, but it does affect the perception of people, doesn't it?
No,
They'll
exactly.
deny it and say,
Mm.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't, but it does.
But then you will be so quick to do that. You're meant to exhaust every other possibility first, and then you say, okay, it must be because of this.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Not just draw for the thing.
So he's trying. I'm wondering if there's a way I can get rid of this. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's a bit better. I don't know how to get the white thing off the side here. That's a shame. I'll cut it off later. Right.
Content
Sorry.
that's important.
Say again, buddy.
It's the content that's important.
Yeah, absolutely agree with you. You said you didn't. You said you didn't know much about history and that, but I think listening to you, I think you probably know more about some of the subjects than a lot of people do. Um, and
Thank you.
you talked about the English people and that, and I really believe it. Just listening to you,
Mm.
you know, when I hear a lot of people say the word research and that they're full of shit, but you actually are going and doing it because when you come and talk about something, you're talking from an informed and logical perspective. What you're
Thank
saying
you.
to me is like exactly the right thing to do. Leave your fucking emotions at home because they are not going to serve you in going and learning and growing.
Exactly.
Um, I just think it's amazing that you've chosen to to just go and do that. You
I
know?
want it to be like an inspiration to a lot of people as well. Because if I can do this at 41 years old,
Uh,
those kids out there, where we all know a lot of crazy things are going on, maybe they can look and turn around and say, if I can do this and I'm 15, 16 years old, start
yeah.
from now, in 25 years' time, I'm going to be 50 times better than Black Van Man. I
And
might be able to change the
they
world.
should know this shit's fun, isn't it? It's hard work, but
Yeah. No, I've got a passion for it. I wouldn't do it. I haven't asked for one donation from anybody. I haven't got any PayPal. I haven't got anything. I'm not asking anyone for nothing. I'm doing it for the love of it, and
so,
that's it.
so that's what I was going to ask you. So is this your job now, or is this something that you fit in?
I would love it to be my job. I would love it to be my job. It's taking over more and more of my life.
Yeah,
To be, I'm passionate about what's going on, and if I can make a change for my children to make it better for them and your children as well, because we all live in the same country.
yeah,
I'm still searching for. I like I said to you, I want to go and talk to the people that don't like black people. I want to go and talk to the people that don't want to mix. I want to go and talk to the people that you might consider. I don't consider you disgusting or anything. Even if you think you're better than me, you're entitled to your opinion. I
yeah.
just don't won't listen to it. But I want to go and see. I'm in a country that I am not native to. Like, as in, partly my grandmother was English. She's still alive somewhere. Hopefully, I'll meet her one day. Um, but I've got English blood in me. I've got African blood in me. I've got Caribbean blood in me, and I was born here.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've got not some kind of. I know I'm close to the land, but I'm not as close to the land as an indigenous Anglo-Saxon man.
True. That's true. But at the same time, I mean, if you look at the like the demographics and stuff for the people who've lived in our lands, I mean, it's been a we have people who say we're a country of immigrants are liars, but we have had a lot of different bloodlines come into this country.
Yeah,
Whether
well, that's evident in what I can see when I open my eyes every morning.
yeah, and yeah, yeah. but for me, like you say, like you said, maybe I was Europeanized, and you could be right. But for me, growing up in this little town, I wouldn't have questioned you just being English.
Yeah, you
And
just said I'm English just like you,
yeah,
but I don't see myself as English just like you, and I'm not English just like you.
and that seems weird for me
Yeah,
to hear
I'm
that.
happy with that though.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
happy,
don't get me wrong.
and I'm happy for you
Criticism,
to cherish whatever your bloodline, all the way down to whoever the Anglo-Saxon. You know, was fighting Vikings and stuff.
yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
different,
yeah.
isn't it? And I respect that. And I respect where you come from. You should be allowed to shout from the rooftops, England, 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 just as much as a Brazilian person is allowed to do the samba and
Absolutely.
samba through the streets. You're allowed to shout it out from the rooftops that you're English, you're proud, you're patriot, and like that's just normal. It should be just normal. And if it's not normal, I understand why people are racist, and I'm trying to change the narrative and make that normal for English people. So then there are less racist people in the
It
country.
was, it was normal. It was normal to be that way.
Yeah.
And then, in my opinion, I'm not putting this on you. In my opinion, it was people on the left, and I do hate this left-right stuff, but it was people on the left that started to try um, and change things, and they've done it over a period of about 50 years. Because the things that you just talked about there would have been normal
Mm.
back, just not too far back. They would have been totally
There was
normal.
nothing. People held tradition, just even watching television and stuff, and the things that used to come on television.
Yeah,
People were a lot more patriotic. People
yeah,
were a lot
yeah,
more. They held on to tradition a little bit more. More people were married. More people held on to more family values.
absolutely.
Um, it seems like in this day and age, people are in it for the likes, the
Yeah,
subscribes, the attention. Even bad attention is attention to people nowadays in
yes,
media. Do you know what I'm saying? Any attention is attention. So you gotta understand what world we're living in, and we gotta try and hold on to all of our values and what we hold sacred to us. Otherwise, we're gonna lose ourselves.
I agree, and I think we need to remember to be able to share that with each other as well.
Yeah.
Because it becomes a very lonely place to be otherwise, doesn't it?
We
But
don't trust each other. If we don't trust each other and we can't talk openly and be offended
yeah,
sometimes we're going to be offended when we openly talk to each other.
of
But if
course,
we can't get over that and we're all going to be running to the PC police talking
yeah,
about they said this and he said, she said, then it's going to be, we ain't going to get anywhere. And it's going to be just like, it will all keep our true feelings inside.
that's what I'm worried about. That is exactly what I'm worried about. I'm worried that I've talked about free speech a lot recently, and I'm worried that people don't realise that if you don't talk and have the right to offend someone,
Mm.
there's only one other way of resolving your differences. It's violence. Yeah, exactly. You
Why do
said
you
it
think I
the
put
way.
myself on YouTube? Do you think I'm a 41-year-old man who's always evaded publicity?
Yeah,
I've never wanted to be on YouTube or anything like that. I'm pretty happy to just watch the world go by. But for
yeah,
me to put my face up in front of for scrutiny and for judgment, because we can all have our personal opinions, but I put my face up for scrutiny and for judgment. The reason I've done that is because I'm worried about what's coming. Everybody's painting a perfect utopia, what's going
hmm
on in this country. But if you look at it through different eyes, you can see that the country could be ready for war.
man, you are no fucking layman. You see this exactly how it is, mate. You
Thank
see.
you for that. I appreciate it.
I'm
All my
serious.
friends tell me I'm crazy. I'm losing friends
No
left,
way.
right, and center. I'll tell
No
you
way.
that right now.
Everything. What you just said there cuts
Yeah.
straight through all the bullshit, straight to the truth. Um,
Mhm.
and appreciate actually hearing it.
Yeah.
Um, have you? So have you managed to? Because obviously you had the interview with Danny.
Yeah, loved it. Loved the interview with Danny as well.
So have you
So,
managed to get a serious interview with anybody on the other side?
nobody wants to talk to me. If you see on Twitter, I've got a few trolls. Big up Peckham Pulse. I even love the haters. Peckham Pulse. Big up Peckham Pulse, yeah. Go follow him. My number one troll. He always he's on me like he's on it like a car bonnet. I tell ya, everything I post, yeah. And I went into this unbiasedly. When you learn my life and you learn what I've been through, yeah, like I don't give a shit about either one, to be honest with you. But I'm worried about what's going on in this country for my children's sake. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's why I've put myself on it. But this guy Peckham Pulse, he's gonna love this, innit? You know what I mean? Loads of people. Peckham Pulse, come on. Right, Peckham Pulse. Yes, and it doesn't make me angry. It just makes me see more for what it's worth. Do you know what I'm saying?
I,
Everything I've ever posted, he's always said something negative about it. But the
yeah.
first time I filmed a Tommy Robinson protest, nobody never came over to me and was like, Black Van, well done, Black Van, man. We love you. He just left me to it. Do you know what I'm saying? And he still had something bad to say. All I done was go and film something that I had no idea about. And
Yeah.
I didn't want to watch mainstream media about it. And every comment I have, you always have something negative to say about it. So if everything I do is negative, your mind's already made up. My mind's not already made up. My mind's not already made up. I'm coming to see for myself and I'm coming to show what the hell I see. So anyone from Antifa, if you want to talk to me, get in the comments and I'll be down there ASAP. Give it 3 4 days. We'll arrange it. I'll be down there. I'll come and talk to you and we can start again.
There you
Because that's
go.
what it's all about.
There you go. That's a genuine offer, isn't it?
How
So
many times can I offer before I can make an opinion? What do you reckon?
I agree. I agree. And this will get out. So
Yeah.
this is an opportunity. And listen, I know that I may be because I've said I try and be objective, but obviously I've come out on the side of Tommy. Um, I never saw myself on the right of politics, but it seems like that's where I'm ending up. So, but I too would have liked to see people from the left talking
Yeah.
as opposed to shouting, screaming, or everything else. I've said this from the beginning, I want to sit down around a table and talk.
Yeah. If you don't want to talk, then there's some kind of problem.
Yeah, yeah. I think if you don't want to talk, maybe you're afraid that your ideas aren't going to hold.
Yeah.
And I think that the brave thing to do would be to come out and talk. And if not, the best thing about coming and talking to you rather than say me is you don't have the opinions that I do. You know,
Yeah.
so you're
That's
going.
why I thought it would have been perceived as at least perceived as unbiased because I'm going to a Tommy Robinson support thing and I'm black. So why am I going to want to ideologize with somebody who's supposed to be racist?
Right.
That's how you get the whole unbiased thing in the first place. A black man is going to some protest where everybody is meant to be racist. I'm going to make sure I do that. Yeah, it's where everybody is meant to be racist, and he's going to check it out. Now, if I would have went there and saw loads of racist people and they were saying nigger, nigger, nigger behind my back, I would have reported that I flipping saw that. I didn't have any nobody's paying my wages. I never had no loyalty to Tommy Robinson. I never had no loyalty to anyone. I had a
Yeah,
loyalty to myself to find out what was going on.
yeah, loyalty to the truth.
Yeah, I had a loyalty to the truth.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
the the funny thing is that the truth, when I put the truth out, the people that seem to be getting most annoyed with it are people that are in either the left or in the black community
right.
amongst me. Do you know what I mean?
So how much flashback have you had for doing what you did compared to say before? So you know let's say the first Tommy Robinson one you did. From there,
Right.
what's the
I'm
last
just gonna,
band?
because this is kind of personal still, and it's
Okay,
like my people, the people that I consider are close to me are very few people.
right,
So like it's literally like I would consider my brothers and my sisters. May not be by blood, but I consider us a band of brothers,
yeah,
literally.
yeah,
And we grew up the same.
hmm,
We have very similar lifestyles, but we see them through two different lenses,
yeah,
and they're polar opposites.
right,
I understand. I understand why he feels like the system got him down, and the
yeah,
system done this, and the system done that into him.
yeah,
But he doesn't see how I don't like. I don't think like that. I
yeah,
feel
yeah,
like obviously somebody might see my second name on a job application or something, and I might not get the job. I understand that, but I understand I live in England. I don't live in Africa, or I don't live in Trinidad. So that is one of the consequences of being a minority in this country. I aspire for us to be where that doesn't matter. I aspire for that, but the world seems to be a really wicked place. Do you know what I mean? Where things like that do matter, but I understand it for what it is. I understand people are ignorant, but I'm not gonna tar you all with the same brush. I'm gonna judge someone by the content of their character and not by the color of their skin. It's ironic that Martin Luther King said that for black people, and it's literally like it feels like it's the other way around now.
yeah. I mean, something I've talked about, and I wonder if you've seen it or not. Something I've talked about before is that I feel like the just before we came on, we both said it was astonishing how race had almost been overcome and then suddenly it had been brought back up again.
Yeah,
Um, and but one thing I feel like I've noticed is middle class white people being racist against other white people.
it's like a class war instead of a race war, and they're using race
So
as
you
an
do see it,
excuse. Using race as an excuse
yeah,
against the lower classes, so your political opinions are not heard.
yeah. So I see people who are middle class, well off, in positions where they're talking about people in white privilege, and it's like, well, hang on a minute, you're talking about yourself,
Yeah,
but they're projecting on them.
literally.
So yeah, literally,
Mm.
and yet, so I see
I
where
don't
you're
believe in. I don't believe in. I have to think about it, and I hate words like white privilege. I hate it.
it's
Should I
trigger
tell you
words.
why? Should I tell you why? For
Sure.
me, yeah, if you if if like this is a world, and it's a wicked, wicked world that we live in.
Yes.
This is what I see when I open my eyes. It's a wicked world, yeah. And I see that there's a totem pole, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On the totem pole, white people are on the top of the totem pole, economically, warlike, um, business way, or whatever you want to see. It's your world if you want to look at it through that lens. I
Yeah.
choose not to look at it through that lens.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah,
not really
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You gotta understand how a lot of black people or a lot of minorities look through at the world. They look at it
Right.
like a white man's world,
Got you.
because when you turn on the, especially if you're living in England or America,
Right.
everything that you're seeing on television is by the ironically the mainstream media
Yeah.
is you see the black kids and stuff, they're shooting,
Yeah.
killing, knife crime, and it's like the black people in the communities have taken on that lifestyle as a way of life as well. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's like I understand how Tommy Robinson supporters have been demonized, because black people have been demonized for far longer.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be here and complain about
So
make
you can see a comparison between, say, supporting Tommy or supporting one of those types of causes and the racial kind of abuse that people have had. It's a
the
similar kind
racial
of
not the racial abuse black people have had, just the stereotype of black people.
right. Got you. Got you. Yeah. Yeah.
Like black people went through a horrible thing in coming over and experiencing the situations what they had to go through.
Yeah,
Not trying to make light of that. I'm trying to say never forget that. Just like the Jews say, never forget about this and never forget about what happened. Don't never forget about slavery. Never forget about those things. But we can't change them. All we can do is move forward. So if you're hanging back, thinking about those things, and your mind is wrapped up in those thoughts, you're mentally enslaved.
do you think that a lot of, say, black people are look through the lens that they do because life was harder for their parents, things were more racist back then, and they've been taught to
I can only
feel.
speak for myself for a start. I can only speak for myself for a start, for a fact of, yeah.
Yeah,
Said a few things where I've brushed over and said black people this and black people that,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I got to be really careful how I speak because I look through, I look through, when I look at what I've noticed is that I look through is quite unique to how what the common denominator of the black thought is.
right.
Um, when I speak to people, sometimes it might take them a little while to get it. Some people will just shut me down. Sometimes it might take 5 minutes, and they're just like, "You're right, you know." Yeah, it's common sense what you're saying, because after all, it is common sense and logic. Um, it's common. Like I don't have to have any notes. I don't have to have anything written down. I don't have to memorize anything because I believe in what I say.
Absolutely. I
I
remember
can't
you saying to
script
me
up.
when,
Yeah,
when we met that you felt confident enough to stand in your square and face anyone. You could look after yourself and you could stand up for yourself because you knew what you believed in.
exactly.
And I remembered that from that interview because it was a powerful statement.
Do you know what's so funny? So what I'm finding so funny is that you remember little things about what I say. So I have to be really careful with what I say. Because you
Sorry,
remember some of
I
the
am
mind
a bit
things.
yeah. Sorry,
I'm humbled. I'm humbled. It's humbling me, bro. Trust me.
oh, okay. As long as I'm not offending you, that's
Can't offend me, bro. It's like I got thick skin.
good, good, because none of it's intended that way.
All good. All love.
Um, So, I saw another tweet. You said the Emerson creative divide.
Pardon? Mainstream media.
Yeah, you said the Emerson creative divide, but you're on it.
Yeah, like a car bonnet.
And I love that. And I saw something, but I don't know what it was. Was it I don't know how to pronounce the name. Sarah Garvey, is it?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
What was you giving him a shout out about?
Quite basically, big up man like Sarah Garvey, the Black Opinion.
Because
It's
it's like,
about people with different. It's about people with different ideologies and that coming together and having a chat. I
I got the
respect him.
impression that you were having a count. Correct me here, because I only. But I got the impression you were having a pop for him being maybe middle class.
Oh no, no, I don't think that Sarah Garvey's middle class in the
Oh,
slightest.
okay, okay,
Um,
fair enough.
yeah, no, 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 no. I didn't. I've watched Sarah Garvey on Speaker's Corner many a time, so I've got to
Right,
say he's put a lot of work in. Big up to Sarah Garvey. But what it was about Sarah Garvey, um, I thought, and I'm new to this.
yeah.
Somebody put a comment up, and it said Sarah Garvey 9 or something like that, and the comment said, "Oh, something about." I need to fix up, or I'm lost. I need to fix up, something like that. So I was like, oh, okay. I'd love to have a chat with you where you can tell me why I'm lost and why I'm fixed up, why I should fix up. But since then, I think he sent a message or a message got sent where he said, am I sure it was him? Which I'm not. I'm not sure it was him. But I
Right.
still would like to talk to Sarah
I
Garvey.
think it'd be a brilliant conversation.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to have shouted him out a couple times.
Oh,
I think he might be
Sarah
big and too big
Garvey,
to answer.
Sarah Garvey, you have to speak to this man. It makes so much sense.
I think I have to get my subscribers up. Let me get my subscribers up.
Yeah,
When it's on the same kind of level, I think he'll chat to me.
I agree with you. I agree
But
with
I
you.
want to chat to you, Sarah Garvey, man. Big love, big respect. And
Okay,
if
we
it
got
was you that said I need to fix up, I want to know how I need to fix up because all information's good information if you take it the right way. You don't know.
what I've noticed as well is, I mean, again, you said layman. I've looked at some things that you're doing. You're looking into Christopher Hitchens. Um, I don't know how far you got with that, but
Not far at all. I'm looking into loads of things, so I'm just trying to glance. So anything that piques my interest, I'll dig a little bit deeper into it.
looking at the people that you're looking at, I'm seeing a pattern similar to partly similar to one I've been on in terms of the people that you're sort of
Research.
yeah, yeah, and it seems it's not just you, it's other people. It's Jordan Peterson and people like that, people at the higher end of the spectrum. They seem to be coming to the same space.
Mm-hmm.
To the same space. It seems to
Yeah.
be for people, whether we're tiny little YouTube channels and massive YouTube channels, we seem to be coming into this certain space. So that I keep calling it honesty because I don't know what else to call it. You
It's
know,
nothing else but honesty and truth, mate.
yeah. And not
Literally.
everyone's on board with that. There's a lot of people that, if you're honest, they're either suspicious of you because they're not used to people being honest, or they're totally frightened by it because it's just,
Mm.
you know,
For me personally, I've got suspicions. I don't know if I'm going to be stabbed in the back by the people that love me and say that, oh, you're doing such a great thing. I don't know if I'm being used
it's
for a
always
deeper.
possible.
Everybody's got their own agenda. Everybody's got their own things, and it happens to be timing that is perfect timing that I come into your life to speak to you, and
Yeah,
everything's perfect timing. Why everything is why it is right now. It's meant to be, isn't it?
it
For
is.
whatever reason.
I do feel a little sad though. I do feel a little sad in as much as, like I said, I told you about how I grew up in terms of races and stuff like that. So I do feel a little sad that it was a big event that when you came to the first Tommy Robinson thing. You get what I'm saying?
Uh,
It was sad that it was that it had to be noticed because it said something about not necessarily about the people there, but the position that maybe they were in, you know, and that I know because I was one of them, you know, it was just like
it shows,
oh
it just highlights of how many people weren't listening. It just shows you how
yeah
long you've been screaming a message and nobody's been listening, and
yeah
everybody's just been carrying on with their merry way.
yeah and for people I know there's some people out there that think they're part of this group and they're racist, but what they don't understand is they're not part of this group, but um
Anyone can join any group.
they can,
I
but
could have a swastika. If I was white, I could have a swastika on the back of my head, grow it
I
up a little bit, jump into Tony Robinson's ones, or I could even go there with a swastika on the top of my head, bald, and sabotage your whole shit straight away. And like do that for 6 months and go with six of my Nazi friends or my six
You're
Nazi
fucking
mates,
brilliant.
and then go and sabotage the whole Tommy Robinson movement and what he's been
Your
trying to do
mind's as sick
for
as
20
mine,
years.
Thomas.
It's true though, isn't it?
I
I'm
think
only learning it as I'm going along though. But you know what's so funny is that I got the evidence for it as well, because that geezer, remember I had a good discussion, yeah, and it enlightened me a lot. I had a discussion with that geezer from the yellow vest, and everyone was like, you numpty, this, that, you idiot, because you were saying the N word and the
I
P
saw.
word.
That's the
All
thing I
right.
was going to come up to. Yeah,
He
I saw
taught
it.
me something. He taught me something that at the same time as well.
Is this
It taught me that anyone can join any thingy. It taught me that
what video is that again, though, for people?
it's
Because I want to see it.
yellow vest.
You're there, the yellow
Yeah,
vest one, the
yellow
Batman
vest.
man done.
I
Please,
interviewed Tracy
Blackwell.
Blackwell. I think he said Tracy Chapman. Tracy Blackwell. I interviewed Tracy Blackwell, and
Watching
there was
that
a
too.
guy there that was supporting them. He was well within his rights to support them and stuff, but he had other views. But he told me that he was talking to me about something else other than the yellow vest. So
Right.
it's totally separate from the yellow vest issue. Even though he had a yellow vest on, he was
Yeah.
with the EDL, and he was telling me that he'd done a documentary previously, and he was explaining that. But the yellow vests were worried that he was contaminating their interview, so much so that they told him to take off his yellow vest.
Wow.
Now,
Didn't see it all up to that
yeah,
part.
at first I would have thought, oh, that's the right thing to do. He was bad, or what he was right. And I understand why Tracy and Steve done that. I understand they were trying to protect their movement. I understand why they was in a really difficult position. But at the same time, that geezer with the yellow vest came to support their movement, regardless of what his thoughts were or what his ideologies were. He came to support their movement. So I understand what he said, whether he was saying nigger, or sorry about that, whether he was saying the N word or the P word.
I'll tell you what, honestly, please just say word nigger, because the N word I find so irritating.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I don't want to say it, yeah, because people might want to share it on platforms.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
no,
no,
fair
people
enough.
might want to share it on platforms or that they might get banned for in the future.
Okay,
Do you
okay, no,
understand? So that's the only reason why I didn't want to say it. I haven't got a
fair
problem
enough.
with saying the N word or the P word at
Yeah,
all. It doesn't bother me in any way, shape, or form.
yeah.
I forgot what I was saying. I was on a really good one then as well.
About the yellow vest and the
Yeah.
guy.
Quite basically, I understood that Tracy and Steve were in a really difficult situation. So they took the decision to tell him to take off his vest in the fact of they wanted to protect their movement. But at the same time, I read the comments and stuff, and I understood that he was coming to support, whether it was good or bad, he was coming to support. And he understood that his ideologies was not the same as the ideologies of the yellow vests. That's why I want to go to
It
the
seems to me
EDL.
you respect, and this, to me, this is a more right wing view, but you respect individualism over identity politics.
Identity politics is like a smokescreen in the fact of what is a white person, in the fact of there's white people with different cultures and heritage. There's white people that fought for, whether they indirectly, I'm going to use the same thing just like I used with Jim, whether they indirectly or directly knew that they were fighting to free slaves. There were white people that done that, that got up and fought for black people to be free, whether that was their primary motive or if there were other things involved. I don't know. I'm only a layman, but I know that white people fought from one side, on the other side, and black people
You're
benefited
right.
from the
You're right.
outcome of that. So for me to say white people, I'm doing a great disservice to white people that might have done something really nice and sacrificed their life, real life. Like we've got something called life. It's a real blessing. We don't know if we're ever going to get it back again. We don't know if you're ever going to go to heaven or hell. You can believe, but you don't know shit. Yeah. um, one chance at it. Yeah. I've
Yeah.
lived my life to 41 years old a certain way, and at the age of 41, I've tried to change. I'm changing it to another way now. So
I have to say, I know this is a bit of a silly thing to go on, but when I was still interviewing you and you told me your age was 41, I nearly fucking fell over. I'm 43, right? And I look about 20 years older than you. I was absolutely fucking gutted.
no, if you see my hairline, I've got the crown on. I've got the crown on. So if you see my hairline, me and you were in the, could have been in the same class, bruv. Trust me. Get a hat like mine. Get a hat like my one, bro, and just grow a little stubbly beard. And trust me, you're gonna look like George Michael in his prime.
I swear to God, I think you're the fucking black version of me.
It's all good, bro.
Funny.
You grew up
So,
in this country just like me, bro.
say again?
I said you grew up in this country just like
Absolutely.
me.
Absolutely. And I
I'm
do.
assuming you were born here.
I was,
Me too.
yeah. And I have I do, and that affinity between us is there, and that to me takes all the
We're
rest.
from the same age range. We went to school at
Yeah,
the same time, so we got a lot. We share a lot of the same things.
and we're seeing whatever position we're seeing it from. It seems to me we're both seeing the trouble that's coming,
Yeah,
and the trouble that's happening, and we both want to do something about it in our own way.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you want to, before we go to the audience?
There's no way I can see the questions or anything, but I'm sure you can relay them to me.
Yeah, I can read some for
Are
you.
there any? Is there anybody in the actual chat room?
Oh yeah, there's people in there. We've got 110 people in the chat room at the moment.
Wow, I
Guys,
want to
you
say
guys share
thank you for
share.
watching. Yeah, I can't see any of that, so I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for the time for taking. It's been 54 bloody minutes, so thank you for taking the time to listen to us. I really appreciate it. You're done now. Go on.
I'm hoping that they feel the way I do, and that is that this has been a nice flowing conversation.
Yeah,
But
I do.
guys, so is there anything before we go to their questions? Is there anything that you want to say that I haven't brought up or anything like that?
Is anyone want to ask any questions?
Putting you on the spot now. Or anything you wanted to ask? Yeah, that's the other thing. Is there anything that you wanted to say or ask or?
Another thing I wanted to say quickly for me,
Hmm.
um, like this is intrinsic to me in the fact of it's a personal journey for me as well. Because at times in this country, I felt like I belonged, and at times in this country, I haven't felt like I belonged, as you can imagine,
Yeah.
both ways. Yeah. So it's like like I was saying, I want to get to the people that don't have the same ideologies as you. I want to talk to the people that believe that you would consider that as being more right wing than you. This is how you would describe them, as more right wing
Mm.
or thingy. I want to speak to those people because those are the people that I want to. Those are the people that are gonna fight if if something's gonna go off. Those are the people that's gonna fight. So I want to identify. I want to speak to them to find out if minorities will ever be welcome in England. It's all good hearing it from you. Like I want to know if I'm welcome. Like if I'm not welcome, I'll just fuck off. I'll
I,
just go. I'll just leave. It's not even that too much of a big deal. But what I don't want to be is somewhere where I'm not wanted by the host nation. And that's part of my journey as well, discovering that for myself of whether I'm actually wanted in this country.
I've always felt this thing where if I'm somewhere I'm not wanted, I want out of there straight away.
Yeah, if I had such a problem with this country and I felt like how some of my friends and how some like I've got a lot of support amongst my friends and a lot of support amongst my family as well. But some of my friends and some of my family are just it's tearing it apart.
I'll be honest.
Literally.
I think that I don't know how what you've seen of us, but I think all of us are going through this. We're all finding that as we open up and become aroused and we're getting into these movements and stuff. I think many people I've spoken to now, they're either scared of telling their families or they have, and there's rifts in families about all this politics and stuff that's
Yeah.
going on at the
You got to
moment.
imagine as well, yeah. Like I understand that you lot are going through it as well, but you got to understand that we come from the same community, but there's a black community as well.
Yeah,
That
yeah, I understand.
and like um I've had people say to me like I don't want to talk too much about it,
Mm-hmm.
really and truly. But
Okay.
um
And you say what you want.
I have to think about what I say. You see that everything was really free flowing, and now I have to think about what I
That's
say.
fine. That's
Do you
fine.
understand
We
that?
give you those moments will pop up. So that's totally cool. That's totally cool. Take your time.
Like
Oh,
um, as my life becomes um apparent, yeah,
mm-hmm.
who I am,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
more personally, and the life that I've lived, you'll be able to see quite easily how I'm from a place where somebody could have a polar opposite view
Yes.
of my view. Do you understand? I
Yeah.
understand it. I understand the reason why they have their views, but for me to have my view, like it's already started Chinese whispers. I'll put it like that. Fuck.
Yeah. I bet.
It started Chinese whispers, but I'm very highly aware of the fact that
I've
whispers
heard.
turn to shouts, shouts turn to action, and next minute, um, I'm some kind of villain or I'm some kind of person who's like I'm against black people. I'm an Uncle Tom. I'm a coon.
Poking
I'm
up this stuff.
yeah,
So,
yeah, 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 yeah. People are trying to talk to me like that, like I'm like that.
I knew
But
that
they're
was
trying to talk to me like that out the side of their mouth. We call that in the area where I'm from, you're talking out the side of your mouth. You know,
right.
like you don't want to say something straight to somebody.
Yeah,
Talk
yeah.
out the side of your mouth, it goes through a couple of people, or then you hear a message from this person and that, but you don't get a phone call and you don't get a thing. Um, I believe that if I'm in any kind of danger or something, it's gonna come from my own people.
I think that's the same. Yeah, I think many of us feel the same with what we're going through as well.
Mm.
And I'm not just saying that for the sake of it. I genuinely do think, as I said to you earlier on, the biggest threat to white people is white people.
Mm.
Um, and so it's interesting hearing you say that. I'm curious. Maybe one day you could introduce me to this polar opposite culture, so that maybe I could.
I'd love to do that. Do you know the funny thing about it? One of my I will describe this person. My people know who I'm talking about. I can't even say.
That's
Uh,
cool.
I
Cool.
quite
Cool. Make up a
basically
name.
I would like to have this discussion with somebody, but I'm not the person who it is because I love that person.
Right. Got ya. Got ya.
You understand what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
love that person, and I wouldn't want to do, I wouldn't want him or her opinion to be. I got so frustrated. I made my opinion public.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want his opinion to be public. But if anybody else wants to have that discussion, I'm ready for you, mate.
Yeah.
Toast ya.
Yeah. No, I'd love to. Just from my
I'll
perspective,
try. I've got a few things in the pipeline. To be honest with you, I've got some amazing things in the pipeline. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass or anything.
no, no.
Um, I've got some quality. Do you remember I whispered to you the other day? Remember I whispered to you? I
Yes,
said something
I do.
about that.
I
Do
haven't
you remember?
forgotten. I haven't forgotten, mate. And I still.
Something like that. But I've been thinking about a few other things as well, and like that's a direction that I'm going to be moving in. So I've got a few things in the pipeline, and I've made moves into making it happen very soon.
I love it. I especially I remember what you whispered to me, and it was I was well into it straight away. So I'm going to go to some questions because we've asked them, so they've written them for us. So the silliest one and the first one, Robbie Thompson says, "Ask Black Van Man, does he really have a black van, or is it fake news?"
Yes, I have. Have a look on one of the thumbnails or something. You'll see me with my arms out, and I've got the black van. Me and
Yeah.
the black van.
Actually,
So
hang on,
yes.
hang on, everyone. I'll show you that now. 1 second. Oh, hang on. Where's the thing gone? Oh, the screen's being a twat. Hang on, guys. Lost my keyboard. That was supposed to be quick, but that one, that's the picture he's talking about. There's the
There's
black.
some kind of picture there. Yeah, I've got a picture there with the van. So yes, I have got a black van.
So yes, he has got Black Van. So next question was, what is Black Van Man's concerns for the country?
My concerns for the country are that people are not going to listen, specifically minorities are not going to listen to what the indigenous people of this country have got to say. In not listening, people that want to express their heritage, patriotism, be proud of their bloodline, um, if they are not listened to, it's easy how that can become racism. It's
Yeah,
easy how it's so simple. Like I tried to put myself in a white man's shoes and say, just imagine if I was shouting all of these things and nobody didn't want to listen to me. Would I take it for 6 months before I came racist? How long would it take for people not to listen before I just said fuck? Sorry about that. Before I
no, it's
said
not.
F those T's, F those N's, they ain't listening. All the borders are open. You're coming in. You're just taking over the thing. You all want the whole nation to be beige. You don't want to. You don't want to recognize our right to our. This is this is our shit, and we've been amazing hosts. We've been the best hosts in the world, in my humble opinion. We've
Mm-hmm.
been the best hosts in the world, and
Agreed.
you lot are taking the piss.
Agreed. Agreed.
Simple.
LC says, please ask, is he coming up?
LC, big up man like LC. He's been there from when man had like a not 50 subscribers or something like that. LC's been there from the beginning. Go on, LC.
LC is brilliant. So LC says, please ask, when are you coming up north? Or are you coming up north?
I answered a message today. Someone sent me an email the other day saying, "Do I want to come to Sunderland? Do I want to?" I was like, "This is where I desire to be." He hasn't got back to me as yet. Geezer messaged me today. Geezer messaged me today and said to me, he'll be happy to walk me around. I think it was either Sunderland or Newcastle. So I'm going to arrange that in the possibly the next couple of weeks. I'm going to go up there. I don't even want to say what I'm going to do, but yeah, I am coming up north. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Excuse me, I've got something. On air, please go away.
Me and the technician can't wait for that. That's going to be an adventure. Like that's amazing. I can't wait to go up north.
So,
Big up LC.
just going through. Where's this in line? Sorry, just no questions. Oh, so that's kind of nice. BBM, no questions, just respect, brother. That was kind of nice.
Love, blessings.
There we go. So Rachel K says, "What is BBM ideal person to interview?"
I want to interview. Who would I ideally like to interview? I'd like to interview Tommy Robinson
Mm-hmm.
because I want to know if he lives up to the. Is he the man?
The hype. Does he live up to the hype?
Does he live up to the hype? Like for real, for real. Like I understand. I've met the supporters, and the supporters put their jobs on the line. The supporters put they risk being could be assaulted, anything. We all saw what happened to Andy and Goal over in America. So they've put a lot on the line to support this man. So I'd love to chat to him. I'd like to chat to him privately first.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to know who the man. I would like to know who the man is behind. It made me. It made. I understand how you lot have put yourself out there, but it actually made me even want to put myself out there as well. In the fact of like, people say it's nuts for me to put myself out there to go and hear what you lot have got to say, but I've got a long-term plan. My long-term plan is to make this country a better place for all of us, not just for black people, not just for black people either, everybody. And the only way we can do that is if we respect the hosts of the country first and foremost.
Agree. Absolutely fucking brilliant. Oh God, Romy says, "Is Black Van Man really Trudeau?"
See what?
He really Trudeau. There was this stupid news article today where he's black-faced or something.
Okay. I'm the truth. I'm the truth. Trust me.
LC says, I think referring to something you said earlier on, you need to talk to the real, in capital letters, real far right, like Mark Collett, but they will not be violent to you.
I'm not scared. I'm ready to come up there. This is what I'm here for. I want to go to speak to the far right. The far. I want to go as far as I can. And I want to know if you just hate me because I'm the color brown. Or is it something deeper than that? Let's go deep into it. And if you really want me to F off back to where I come from, let me know. I'd rather be gone and know.
So when you watch this, when you this interview's finished, later on, the what? You're frozen. You still there, buddy? I think we've lost him. Black Van Man, can you hear me, buddy? I think we've lost you. Hang on, everyone. We may have to bring him back. Just give it a second. 5, 4, 3, 2, Oh,
Yeah,
he's
one, two,
back.
one,
He's
two. I
back.
can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. I was just about to say. I saw it say no internet connection. I thought it was mine. I was just about to turn it off, turn it back on, phone you back.
Right. So something I will say to you, but you'll later on when this video is processed, it'll show all the comments. Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm just looking at the ones from when we started asking questions, and rather than read every single one out, there's a lot here where people are saying, "We want you. I would welcome you as my neighbour. This is your country, etc., etc., etc."
I want to speak to the ones that don't think it's my country or think that they're suspicious of me.
So I'm trying to look for those, and at the moment
Yeah.
we don't have any, which is absolutely amazing.
That's amazing. No, that is amazing. I'm happy. That made me smile. Uh, No, because you know what it was? I saw on your comments when you advertised it, there was someone there who said, I don't know, where's all this spell? Exactly like what you said. I saw it as well.
Yeah,
And I wanted to address that. I wanted to speak to that person on
yeah,
what you're so suspicious about me about. Like,
yeah.
what have I got to gain by supporting you?
I think he was more, not. I think he was more um, almost, and I don't want to sort of offend him or anything, but I think he was more like it felt his nose was put out because you were getting an inordinate amount of attention.
I'm going
And
to get more attention because I'm the only black person that's listening.
yeah, absolutely. And when you just ask that question sensibly, it answers itself, doesn't it?
Hmm.
The spell,
So
as I said, the spell for
I
me is
like to get his comments afterwards, though. I like to hear put in
absolutely,
comments. I like to hear his
absolutely,
comments afterwards on whether he thinks that I'm doing something for my own agenda, what he thinks my agenda could be. Because he's only educating me. I don't even know what my agenda is yet. My agenda, I do know what my agenda. My agenda is to make it better for my children.
right.
That's my agenda. And
Um,
to not, and for me personally, to find out if we're even wanted in these countries, because I'll take my children out as well, innit? And they can start their life from younger, get acclimatized to somewhere else, and move forward.
yeah,
But the last thing that I want to do is be in a country that doesn't want me here
of, of course.
on the sly. Do you know what I mean? And smiling in my face. That's the
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
that's
Do you
even
know what I
worse.
mean?
That's even worse.
I don't like that. I rather be real. I rather you be real.
See, a guy in here called Ian Reed. I mean, he's as mystified as I was when we started speaking. And he said, "What makes you think you're not English, BDM?"
I'm not the same. I understand that I'm English in the fact of I was born here. But you gotta understand that most minorities that are born here don't identify themselves as English. Most. That's what I would say. Um, I don't like talking for other people because I haven't got the black opinion, Sarah Garvey. Sarah, I haven't got the black opinion. I can only talk for myself. Because if I start having the black opinion, I've got a feeling that the black people are gonna start hating me. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna put myself out there and say I've got the black opinion. Not yet. I have to
What's
be
your opinion?
my own opinions. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah. So,
yeah.
so are your opinions going to come out one day?
Yeah. If it my opinions are common sense and logic and truth and what's right. Those are my opinions. So whatever you see me see and whatever you see me feel, yeah, that's what I see with my eyes.
Yeah.
And that's what I form my opinion from.
And Lindsay G says it's not about race now, it's about the English being discriminated and ultimately becoming the minority that worries people.
I feel like English people in this country feel like they're threatened. And
Yeah,
Saxon, I say Anglo-Saxon to differentiate. And to differentiate means that there's a difference. And there's nothing wrong with having that difference. It's just
no,
that you respect as somebody who's not Anglo-Saxon and somebody who hasn't got that English, I've got a little bit of that English bloodline in me, but somebody who hasn't 100% of this soil, I have to respect the host. Simple and plain. Even if I was born here and stuff, I still respect where I'm living.
yeah, yeah. What was it we used to say? The thing that seems to have disappeared over the last 25 years is again, when I was growing up, one thing we were taught is to celebrate the differences, to learn from one another.
Yeah.
That's what differences are for, and they're good because it means you can learn stuff from people. But it seems that that's not what people want. They don't want there to be differences. It,
Even in scientific research, yeah, like we can all see, like you go and watch the 100 meter running, a black man's probably gonna win it. Do you know what I mean? You go
yeah,
and watch, like you got things right in front of your face that you're not allowed to talk about for fear of being racist or being thingy. It's on both sides. If black people, these are the questions that I ask myself. If black people are so good at physical stuff, what are white people good at? If or and I don't mean white people as in like what are Asians good at? Are we different like that? Those are the questions that I like to
yeah.
explore. And I think that even see scientifically, we're gonna go backwards if you don't explore those differences
And
between us.
here's the problem that the left have, and a lot of people who are just politically correct have, and that is scientifically, we know for certain, well, in terms of being able to measure IQ, we know that there are actually, just focus on IQ for 1 second, out of all the different traits that we have. We know that there's actually IQ differences between races
Yeah.
that are measurably different,
Mhm.
meaning that one race, if you was to measure their mean IQ, would be actually higher than another one, than
Yeah.
another race. I'm not naming those races for obvious reasons.
That's not to say that a person is stupider. It's just
No,
that
not at all.
IQ level just means their IQ level's lower.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely,
I totally
absolutely.
agree. Yeah.
And so we found this out in science, but we're not allowed to talk about it,
Yeah, but
and it's stopping us.
when
It's
you
stopping.
live, if you live in the jungle, yeah,
Yeah,
how do you edify your mind as in education? As in, when you go to university and you learn,
yeah,
how do you learn about engineering or something if you live in the jungle? Or how do you learn if you live in the desert? Or how do you learn if you live in an Eskimo flipping thing? You only learn what's around you. So you'll be a master of nature. A black person in the bush will be a master of nature in a different way. Where somebody in the Eskimo guy will be a master in the snow, innit?
absolutely, absolutely.
IQ is measured in a certain way. It's not measured in jungle being in how what you can do in the jungle. I don't even know how it's measured, but it's gonna favor
It's the moral
um how
capacity.
you learned,
Way of
how you were
thinking.
edified. It's
Yeah,
gonna favor how it depends on how you were edified what comes out in the results of your
mhm,
IQ test. Do you
yeah,
understand?
sure,
So
for
some
sure.
people have got a lower IQ than some other people. It's how you see it
Yeah, yeah.
important.
And the physical
Are they
difference. I
dumber?
mean, people
Are
don't
they
even
not
want
dumber? It doesn't mean they're dumber. It just means that
no,
they are
absolutely.
IQ's lower.
And the reason I think people are worried about not talking about it is because what they're saying is like Asians, for instance, tend to have a generally higher standard of education when they go into university. So universities deliberately um, deny some of them places to make it more equal.
It's a bit
But
racist.
that in turn could mean that the very best people for the jobs aren't getting the
I ain't
jobs.
getting
Like,
them. Yeah. Yeah.
that's a serious problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a world-ending problem that come here tomorrow,
Mm.
and we haven't got the right people.
Underachieving as a human race.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's scary.
That seems quite logical to me. Yeah.
So sorry, just going through. Oh, so Violin Accordion, who is a serial troll on this channel, he
Violin.
says, "I don't have."
Play me a song.
He
Or is
says,
a
"I
violin
don't have my
accordion
own
like that?
people. I have everybody, all the same." Um, and it's sorry,
Go
his
on, no, read it again. I didn't hear it. I got to tell
So
you. I
I'll
got
read his first comment because
yeah.
the first one made more sense. The next one was incoherent. The first one he said, "What's the difference between your own people and everybody else? We are all the same."
Yeah, we are all the same, but we're uniquely different as well.
Agreed. Um,
A red
someone's
red ant's the same as a black ant, isn't it? It's uniquely different now, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. And some Carol Weston is. She says, "My family don't like to hear any of my beliefs. My brother ridicules me. I've taken a lot of grief for it, They think I'm mad and won't listen to what's happening in this country. Sound familiar?
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's a lot of it, mate. There's a lot of it. I'm hearing lots of stories of people that if they bring up any of this politics at work, they're being slammed down, shut down, you
Yeah,
know, from speaking.
that's
Um,
what breeds racism.
yeah, exactly. So Bolton says BVM. Oh, so it's BVM is English. His skin color means nothing. He is more than welcome. He is one of us. His thoughts are not black or white. They're British, and that's what counts.
I feel
Well,
more and more British and English every day. So thank you.
bless you.
I appreciate it.
Um, Zero, do you still wear flower dresses? Only for certain people. Like Black Bandman's paid me for that, but that's off camera. Uh, yes, chat next week definitely. So okay, guys, I'm going to rush the end of the comments. Do we have? I'm going to write to the end because there's too many comments. So starting
Lovely.
from
Thank you
now,
for all your comments. I didn't see them. So next time I'm going to try and arrange it where I can see the comments as well.
anything else before let this man go because I've held him hostage for a long time now. So
Yeah, we
um,
was going to do like half an hour or something, weren't we?
yeah,
You done me a kipper, mate. You've done
I,
me right
I
over.
done you right up. So I would say that we probably should cap it off there because we have
Yeah.
taken a lot of your time.
Can always take talk again though, bro. I'm
Absolutely,
here,
you're
bruv. I'm
you're,
here. I'm here, ready.
you're welcome anytime, and obviously I might hit you up for an interview. But if you have something that you specifically want to come on and say, just give me a shout. You're welcome anytime, mate. All
I've got
right?
any ideas? I might run through by you and you see if it's a good idea or not. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think yeah,
sure.
definitely,
That'd be
100%.
that'd be really cool. So uh, so please plug your links and anything else that you want to plug right now.
Right. Please follow me on Instagram, Black Van Man One. I've literally got about 150 followers, so I'd really appreciate you following me on that one, Black Van Man One. I'm on Black Van Man Two on Twitter. I've only discovered it maybe about a couple of weeks ago, and we're on 1,500 subscribers. So I'm really happy followers. Really happy with that. I talk quite a lot on that as well. I tweet quite a little bit. Am I active? Am I
Yeah,
active? Quite active on Twitter,
I
innit?
would say so. I
Yeah,
would say
yeah.
so.
I was like, yeah, I'm quite active on Twitter, so you get some good clips on there. And obviously YouTube, Black Van Man. You done that. That's about it.
I love it, and let me just say, please feel free, to keep in touch, as in outside of. I don't really want, shouldn't really be saying this live, but please feel free to stay in touch outside of this business that we're doing. You know,
100%. Yeah,
uh, because
100%.
you're
I wanna widen my social circle anyway, so it's all love and blessings. I'm definitely gonna be coming up north, going to meet new people that I never thought I would have met in my whole entire life. Um, that's about it. It's all good.
brilliant. Well, thanks for coming on, my friend. I really do appreciate it. I really appreciate your time. And again, sorry we didn't get it quite as good today, but at least we haven't got you off camera, so we're getting better.
Better next time.
Cheers, my friend.
Good.
And I'll just say to everyone,
Thank
my
you.
name is Storm Fury. This is Zero News, and I am calling it a day for now, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Thanks for watching.
Uh, peace.
And we are off. Done. Thank you, my man. You did
Right, let
brilliant.
me stop recording on my side. Wait, as well. One more options. Stop recording.